Leeds United have completed their deal to sign James Trafford for a record fee. However, a lot of the little details and the fun little bits and bobs are hidden or not widely reported on, or at best rumoured. So in this video I thought I'd take a little bit of a dive through not only sort of what the player's been talking about in his interview with LUTV and all that kind of stuff, but the juicy kind of details behind how the move happened step by step, including sort of an idea of movements over the days prior to the move, a little bit more detail on the deal itself, and a little bit of information surrounding his contract and what we could probably expect, even in the absence of properly deep details. So, let's dive into it. But before I do so, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Like, half of you aren't subscribed, so please do. That'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. So, in James Trafford's interview, upon joining Leeds United, we sort of got the standard thing that you come to expect. The whole, and I'm just going to have a quick read of one of the paragraphs because it covers all of the cliches. The league's a better place for Leeds being in it. There's one off the bingo card. Because of the way they want to play and who they are as a club, the history they have, there's another on the bingo card. The club want to take it where it's been historically. There's a third, and I think everyone here believes it's going to happen. They're clear on what they want and full belief it's going to happen. It's natural for the goal for the season to be better than last season. Shows growth, going to be a lot of fun. Let's call that a fourth one. A few of the lads I've spoken to say the spirit is incredible. There's number 5. It's going to be a very positive season. When you got the belief and togetherness, it takes you a long way. Let's call that the full bingo, shall we? He also spoke about how it was always good coming to Elland Road with Burnley and Man City and all that kind of stuff, but those are the standard things. Those are not the sort of revealed details that we've sort of found out in the last few hours since the move has happened. So, a little bit of a dive into it. So, before initially securing the move to Leeds United, James Trafford posted on his Instagram story, I believe on Tuesday, where he posted a picture of himself at a sports complex, being sort of an outdoor athleticsy place. Now, a lot of people initially thought that it was going to be Leeds Beckett because some of the structures that were on the field, but that was your standard sort of storage shed for the athletic stuff and the shot put / javelin / hammer net thing with some trees in the background. It was eventually photo matched to be Carlisle, which is ultimately sort of matched by the Leeds United news article that states that James was joined by his family who travelled from Cumbria to be with him as he became our record transfer. So Trafford will have headed over to Cumbria / Carlisle, travelled down to Leeds, and then secured the move there. He completed his medical and filmed all of the media stuff yesterday, as we saw in the video, for example, that I posted on my Twitter, where he was just seen in the ground. I also saw a photo of him leaving the ground, but didn't quite share that one around because of various saucy reasons. Not saucy as in tomato, saucy as in news. But that's not the sort of interesting stuff. The interesting stuff is the finances and what it means for Leeds United going forward. So I'll start off with the contract things and then I'll get into the deal itself, because the deal itself is a little bit zestier and could impact the rest of the window and the potential future of the club. So, it's a 5-year deal at Leeds United. It will last until 2031. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. We know that we've signed Trafford for a hell of a lot of money, and you can amortise whatever fee Leeds United have paid without bonuses, I believe. I think bonuses need to be paid in the year that they happen, but they can be amortised over the length of the contract. So, in essence, Leeds are paying £8 million per year over a 5-year period. It's essentially mortgaging a footballer, according to the books. We will have paid them probably up front anyway, but in terms of what the accountancy sheet sees, it's payments over the duration of the contract. He will also very, very, very probably be a top earner at the club. We know that DCL is on about £120,000 a week. We know that Muharemovic is on about DCL's on about £100,000 a week. Muharemovic is on about £100,000 a week. Wilson will be in that same sort of ballpark. James Trafford will not have come to the club without being one of the top earners at Leeds United. That is not a question for me. He will be one of the players that is earning the most cash at the club, which, for me, says that he will join the category of Muharemovic, DCL, Harry Wilson, etc., 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 which is completely fair. Like, I imagine it will be what Harrison was on, which was 90k plus a chunk. I think there is a chance that he's the highest earner at the club at the moment. I saw rumours saying that Newcastle, and this is from the Newcastle side, that they were quoted something along the lines of 130 grand a week. I don't think it'll be that high. but across the length of the contract, it is going to be a decent sum of cash. And you know what? Get your bag. I'm not going to complain about players being paid what they're paid, because at the end of the day, it's the clubs that pay that much money. The player isn't going to complain if they get paid as much money as that. Anyway, on to the main sort of juicy bit, being the fee itself agreed between the clubs of Manchester City and Leeds United, and we all know the headline figure. The headline figure is approximately £40 million plus some performance-related bonuses, and the performance-related bonuses are no doubt there. There will be a bonus for a set amount of international caps. There will be a bonus for Leeds United staying in the Premier League. There'll be all kinds of little bits and bobs that will ultimately add up to a significantly bigger sum. I say significantly bigger. As far as I've sort of heard, it sounds like about 45 million is where it's going to top out, but that's sort of fine to us, to be honest with you. What's interesting to me are the two other clauses that I have heard are involved in this deal. The first one is matching rights, which is an interesting way that I've seen it phrased. I don't know its specific name, but it's essentially a right of first refusal for Manchester City. In the event that we were to sell James Trafford to a club, whatever club that would potentially be, Manchester City have the right to hop in to offer the same offer as that one in the event that Leeds accepted that offer, and they would get first dibs on the player. They would have first dibs on negotiating with James Trafford. If he didn't want to go to Man City, tough, because you can't really force someone into a contract. But Manchester City would basically get to jump to the front of the queue as long as they stumped up the cash that the other offerer did, which is completely understandable when it comes to young players. They're going to want the opportunity to get them back if they turn out to be absolute world beaters, and hopefully James Trafford does. The other one is one I've seen a little bit misreported. So I've seen some people say that there is a 20% sell-on clause, which is 20% of whatever the fee is will go to Manchester City next time. That's not what I've heard around it, and it's not saying that this is definitely a thing. I'm just saying what I've heard. Forgive me if I am wrong, but people that I trust that aren't the ones that have gotten things wrong in the past and are fairly reputable people are saying things along the lines of it's not the whole fee of 20%. It is in fact 20% of whatever profit Leeds United make. So in the event that we were to sell James Trafford for £45 million, for example, now that's more difficult numbers for me to work with, £50 million, for example, the 20% wouldn't take it back down to 40. Instead, it'd be 50 that we would get in minus 40 that we spent, 20% of the 10 million, so we would only have to give Manchester City £2 million. I say only, that's still a lot of money. But that all sort of also makes sense from Manchester City's point of view, because they're really sort of going to want to make sure that they are making the most of this deal as well. They have made a lot of money out of James Trafford. They haven't really used him as much as I'm sure they imagined they would, because Donnarumma kind of stumped them on that one. But hopefully, and this is more for James Trafford's sake than anything else, the relationship between Trafford and Manchester City is coming to a close, because it's not one that's gone too well. He was initially at City, they didn't really play him at all. Fine, he moved away. Then they got him back, and he was like, cool, I'm going to be a number one goalkeeper. And then they replaced him almost immediately, which is not going to be the best of situations. So I'm glad that he's gotten out of that space. He's going to want to play a lot of football, and hopefully that puts everything in a very nice direction for the foreseeable future, with James Trafford at the helm at Leeds United. I have seen a few little links and rumours and reported offers from Leeds United around other goalkeepers. I'm going to save that for a stream tomorrow, so I've had a chance to sort of research everything. I'll be honest, I've been playing a game tonight that is focused on walking around and solving puzzles, so I've not really been too in-depth on the research recently, but that's completely fine, to be honest with you. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video there. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please pop a like on it, subscribe, become a channel member, all that fun stuff, and I will see you all later. Ta-ra.